Hi, this is Jim Seimas.
And Andrew Matheson for double coverage, our week 3.
Yeah.
Get them up. Preview edition for Friday's games. We got about 5 games, 6 games?
Quite a bit.
We have quite a few on Friday night. Let's get right into it.
All right.
Harbor, 0-3, looking for their first win. Going down to Monterey Peninsula College at 7:30 Friday night, taking on Marina, which, guess what, has a win. Snapping a 27-game losing streak last week.
Wow, they must have beat a really powerful team like Thurgood Marshall Academy from San Francisco.
That's the one.
Yeah, a really reputable football program there. Not trying to rip on them, but I'm just trying to set up my pick.
Yeah, you are.
I'm just trying to set up my pick and justify my pick later on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Marina, though, if there's a right time to play Marina, this is probably not it. I think that's kind of the gist from their side. I'm
going to counter and say that Marina beat a team at home who's from the city, and high school football isn't great.
I know, but they haven't won a game.
Doesn't matter.
Marina went to 11-man football in 2010. They have lost every game since until last week.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to beat Harbor, but I feel like this is probably the worst time to actually catch them.
I guess.
They're probably
it actually could be a really good game, but I'm just thinking as Harbor's kind of due this week, and it's an opportunity for them to finally play some defense.
Yes.
They haven't done that yet. They've allowed 53 points, 41 points, and 39 points in an 0-3 start.
Yeah.
So I just think they're going to be a lot better matched up. You know, like St. Francis has a schedule that matches them well.
Sure.
I think Harbor's getting an opponent that matches them well, and they're going to find a lot more success and find what it's like to play with momentum in this game.
Yeah, and Harbor has, of course, had the success in the passing game. They've been struggling the run game. Last week, though, against Stevenson, they did run for 124 yards and 28 attempts. That was easily their best week so far. But again, you mentioned the defense averaging or giving up 44 points a game right now. That's what needs to be tied up.
Marina did put up a 46 spot last week, so it's not going to be a walkover.
Sure. You're going with Harbor, though?
I am going with Harbor.
I'll go with Harbor as well. Next game on tap, Aptos Mariners. Winners of 2 in a row now.
Good job.
After losing week 1, going over to the Central Valley, taking on Clovis East, which is losers of 3 straight after winning week 1.
So they're hungry like the Timberwolves. That's their mascot, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And just a great shot to show my voice.
Sure.
Anyway, what are you thinking? I think it's a very deceptive 1-3.
I would think so. Yeah. What we know about Clovis East is they beat Ignacio Valley up pretty good in the first week, but then they've since lost Tulare Union, Sunnyside, which is in Fresno, and Bullard, which is 3-0, and they only lost them 48-25. They've been pretty competitive in all the games.
Definitely.
They're giving up a lot of points.
Yes.
But it's Central Valley football. It's big boys. It's good football.
Yeah. Well, over here we talk about the occasional man-child. You could say that about a whole team over there because they're a lot bigger than we are. And their rosters are a lot deeper. They're losing to some pretty good opponents.
Sure.
So like we both agree that it is deceptive. But Aptos is putting up a lot of points. This team doesn't look like they tackle very well. The other Clovis East,
sure.
And, granted they can score, but if you want to get in a shootout with Aptos, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, so Clovis East, though, 1 win, 3 losses. They've still put up 150 points?
Yeah, I know.
Aptos' defense, though, hasn't allowed a touchdown in 6 quarters.
Yeah, they love to tackle. They swarm to the football.
Yeah.
And if this team wants to pass a little bit, I think their quarterback's going to be on his backside quite a bit. I mean, with Greg Buer and the rest of the crew, they get after it. They hustle, and I think it should be another W for the Mariners, quite honestly.
You're going with Aptos?
I am going with Aptos.
Clovis East, led by T.J. Randall, a third-year starting quarterback. He had 3 touchdowns passing last week, 1 touchdown running.
So you're going with Clovis East, all right.
I like the big boys over there. And they also, I think this has to be said, Clovis East is a school of 2,200 kids.
Yeah.
So they have a few options.
No, definitely. No, it's like we said, a deceptive 1-3, but I can't go against the homeboys.
Next up on the schedule, the King City Mustangs, visiting the Monte Vista Christian School Mustangs.
Whew! That sounds like a hoofy battle.
King City, of course, 0-2 right now, looking for their first win. MVC coming off a huge win over Gilroy, the Mustangs, of course.
Yes.
Because nobody else can name their team anything different.
That's right.
A big win over Gilroy last week where they allowed 300 yards to one kid but found a way to win.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love those Mustangs from the Monte Vista Christians. You know what? The way I look at this is, does King City have a Brandon Boyd?
Negative.
They do not. Gilroy has a Brandon Boyd. Therefore, my choice is very simple this week. I like Monte Vista Christian because of the way they're playing defense. Granted, they let Boyd run crazy last week. But you know what? They play defense when they need to, aside against Pacific Grove.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you know what? They're a good little squad. And they're going to get her done.
No, and King City, I mean, they got a sprint attack. They got DeAndre Sharif. They got Dominic Rose. Those are the kind of two big guys. But, obviously the run defense for MVC was shoddy last week. But they're, hopefully their passing defense is a little bit better.
Yeah.
They're hopefully going to get Sean Hopkins back on the offensive side of the ball. Yeah. He was a game-time decision last week and actually played on defense, but didn't run the ball. So he's a big addition if they can get him back in the backfield. Totally.
Help their cause.
Daniel Batista and Dominic Robles. I like MVC.
As in the Mustangs.
Those Mustangs.
Nice.
They've just shown.
They've shown too much for what we've seen.
I mean, from Del Mar, they ran the ball against Gilroy. They threw the ball a little bit more. They adapted a little bit more to the run game.
They are growing each week.
Yeah, I like them moving forward a little bit more each week.
Soft spot in my heart for them.
MVC, we like you. Next up on the schedule, Greenfield visiting Watsonville to take on Pajaro Valley. Back-to-back winners for the first time since 2009. The Grizzlies are. And looking for a third win in a row. They're going to go up against a Greenfield team that hasn't won yet. And they lost to St. Francis, of course, earlier this season on 1 point. A big come from behind win for St. Francis.
There's no way I'm getting this pick wrong. I'm going to do your friend who wins the March Madness basketball pool. And they're like, can a Greenfield Bruin... I'm sorry, I'm doing this voice. It's not a gender specific.
Yes, it is.
And it says, can a Greenfield Bruin beat a Pajaro Valley Grizzly Bear? I think so. But I'm going to have to... There's no way a Bruin beats a Grizzly Bear, right? I mean, shoot, we may get Anthony Cantrell back for PV, and
who's thinking a Bruin could be the Grizzly Bear?
I don't know, but someone chose it, I'm sure. I just think it's all Grizzlies this week. I mean, Greenfield has to be on the road, and are reeling from a pretty lopsided loss, losing 50-3 last week to Santa Maria. Now,
PV has yet to beat Greenfield in 4 tries. They've managed to tie them twice. I don't know how that's possible. But PV is just racking up huge rushing yards right now. They had more than 600 last week. 600.
Well-rounded team efforts.
Last week. And they did it without Anthony Cantrell. He sat out because he was ejected the previous week. He's back this week. That's just another weapon for their backfield. Which apparently, can't be stopped.
I don't think this game is close, quite honestly.
We both like PV.
Yes, we do.
A pair of 1 and 2 teams square off on Friday night, 7:30. North Salinas visits Santa Cruz. These two teams played last year. Very similar teams from last year. And it was all North High, 35-0.
Yeah.
Not a good sign.
No,
to start.
It's not. But another not good sign is North Salinas, the way they've played their competition this year.
Sure.
I mean, they kind of, even though their losses to Salinas and Carmel, they kind of hung around. And both those teams are very good.
Carmel is arguably the top team down there in Monterey
Definitely.
County.
I mean, they beat Palma this year. So the fact that North Salinas hung with those teams and just came off a pretty decent win against Soledad last week. They have a returning quarterback that's been there 3 years and seemingly longer, who knows the offense well and has a good arm and is a dual threat guy.
Yeah,
I can't not pick North Salinas.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you mentioned before we even taped this. It's kind of the same names: Justin Gutierrez, David Dorr. Those are kind of their two big guys. Victor Nunez, the running back. It's the same guys from last year. It's the same deal with Santa Cruz, though. But I think Santa Cruz found another little weapon in Eddie Moreno last week. Nice. He had a nice little game and kind of pair him with Dale Stoller and Ashton Davis, but it's going to be tough to beat North High. I mean, they can put up points. I mean, they put up, 35 against Carmel?
Yeah, totally.
That's pretty good.
Definitely. I mean, it's going to take Santa Cruz's best effort to win this thing. North Salinas.
The 14th and final game on Friday night. Soquel 2-1, visiting Seaside 1-2. Kind of surprising.
I cannot remember the last time Seaside had a losing record.
Well, they went 11-1 last year, so they're already worse off.
There you go.
I guess, but they're not a bad team by any stretch of the imagination. They got a ton of height in Cordell Reed, Ronnie Turner, who's like 6'5", 6'6", I think. They're both at wide receiver.
Nice.
Who's starting at quarterback? We don't know.
Yes, doesn't matter though.
Do you don't think it matters?
It doesn't matter. I mean, they're both pretty good.
Yeah.
And the Seaside team is so athletic. This is the thing is, I'm so happy for Soquel. And I know they're coming off a loss to Leland, and now they face another tough team in Seaside. But I think that's great before heading into league play.
Sure.
I think,
you want to be tested.
They will be tested.
You don't want a bunch of pushovers.
Exactly.
Although a bunch of pushovers isn't that bad either.
No, I know. If you want to be 4-0, other teams have done that. Not saying which ones in our league currently, but I mean, they're going to have a 2-2 record coming into league, and they're going to be well tested. Soquel is.
Yeah.
I clearly like Seaside. It's not even. I don't think it's in question.
Well, I mean, Soquel, they run the ball. They've 95% of their snaps have been rushes so far.
They have not thrown for a passing touchdown yet.
And they'll probably be without Daniel Fisher. He suffered a concussion reportedly last week, and he's probably their lead back. So Ryan Canavan, Ty Seeger, Isaac Marina, they'll all have to step up and have huge games if they want to beat Seaside. I don't see it happening. I like the Spartans.
Yeah.
You like the Spartans.
Yo tambien.
Yo tambien. That does it for Friday's preview edition, all 18 and a half games that we just capped. Check out Saturday's preview show where we have another 40 and a half games, I think.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
Busy final preseason weekend.
Sure. Week 3 Friday, that's in the books. Check us out all online. We're on Twitter. We're on Tout. We're on Facebook.
Yeah.
We're on
everything.
Google Play. We have an app on Google Play.
We have an app.
We have an app on iOS.
This is probably the last time I'm going to show you. You've seen this app enough. You know it's out there.
So just download it.
Get it.
We're sick of talking about it. You can read us all online as well at SantaCruzSentinel.com/.